you've got to say that Luca Paolini has done a great job. He has got a teammate there in second place. And more riders coming to grief, and there have been lots and lots of crashes on this descent. It's an indication of just how difficult it is. It's a good day for the Katushas so far, but not good for everybody on the Katusha team. Paolini can pick his own lines through these corners as he winds his way through the last 3 miles of this third stage of Giro d'Italia. Oh, the legs are hurting then. He just wanted to coast back up to speed, but he knows that he's got to jump out of the saddle the minute he gets beyond the apex. Luca Paolini out front, heading towards victory in stage 3 of Giro d'Italia. 11 seconds to the good. It's looking good for him at this point. Would you like to have a bet on Paolini at this point, Sean?
Well, it looks like that's Blanco team are taking it up, and if they continue on to ride for a teammate, they must have somebody in here who they feel can get something out of it. But Paolini descending very well. He's a real good descender. He's a classic rider, so he can descend at a very fast rate. 11 seconds an advantage. It's going to be very, very tight, and of course, when you're just hanging out there, a number of riders here will see that. They'll just see you in the final 2 kilometres, and then they could probably have somebody else go in the attack. It's going to be a real tight one, but he's in with a good shout at the moment.
Yeah, Luca Paolini's given himself a racer's chance of hanging on. They've pared back a couple of seconds. He's taken victory this year, of course, in Omloop Het Nussblad. Managed to sprint in ahead of Stein Vandenberg on that occasion, and this would make it doubly a great season. Another problem.
2 Blancos.
And 2 of the Blanco riders who were chasing Paolini have come down. Is that Scarponi, or it's one of the Lampre riders? No, I don't think so.
Yes, Scarponi.
Oh, and it is Scarponi, one of the leading contenders. His bike is broken. It looks like the rear mech had fallen off there. So big problems for Scarponi, and that crash is a long way from the last 3 kilometres as Visconti comes around and encounters a Blanco rider attempting to get himself back up and going. So it's good news for Luca Paolini. You think this could well help him and aid him towards success, but bad news for one of the GC contenders, Michele Scarponi. Oh, they all went, the Blancos overshot in a big way, and Scarponi got on the brakes and fell off before they did. But of course, when you're in third place and you're following the line of the riders in front, and they drag you in a bit too deep,
yes, well,
that's what can happen.
We could see the Blanco rider look like maybe Kreisweg leading there and just pushing it too much, slide it out, and then Scarponi see that and went on the brakes a little bit too heavy, and down he goes also. And
more riders in trouble. Is that from that one of the Androni riders coming to grief? And I don't know how many riders we've seen crashing on this descent, but it's certainly living up to the reputation that it had coming into this stage. Tight, twisty, and very, very treacherous. And remember, these roads were wet up until a couple of hours ago, and luckily the hot afternoon sunshine has managed to burn them dry, because it'd be absolute carnage out here, I can tell you, if it was not for this. And more problems for Lampre. That's Stortoni, Simone Stortoni. Manages to click in and get going, but his chances of any sort of a decent result are done. I think he was behind anyway. Don't think he was involved in that lead group. A man who certainly was Luca Paolini, racing towards glory in Marina de Astria. Will he be able to hang on? He steals a little look behind him, and he's getting encouragement from his team car and from the, or is that from the race director? I think it's from the camera bike, really, isn't it? And they're roaring him to victory. Can he hang on? Luca Paolini racing clear. Behind it looks like Hejidal, is it, that's chasing? And he's got Nastana for company as ever. Certainly one of the Garmins. Not sure it is Hejidal, actually.
Yes, it is. Hejidal.
No, it is Hejidal now. Is there an opportunity perhaps for Nibali to grab a couple of seconds? Tell you who's conspicuous by his absence from the front of this group at the moment is Bradley Wiggins. Meanwhile, Paolini races in under the kite. It's looking good for him now. The man from Katusha, who took victory in Het Nieuwsblad earlier this year. He's won a stage of the Vuelta a España in the past. He's only ever taken part in his home Giro d'Italia on one occasion, but now he's racing to victory in stage 3, taking a career-defining success, you would have to say. Strong all day. He managed to stay up front in the mountains, was ever vigilant with all the attacks from Ryder Hagedal and the other riders from the leading group. And he has a little look behind. He's inside the last 500 metres, clicking through the gears and looking down to try and just make sure that he concentrates and makes it all the way to the line. But he's got time to zip up his jersey and contemplate the value of this success as they're racing hard behind him, and Hagedal's involved in the thick of the fight. Remember, there's 12 seconds and 8 seconds for second and third across the line, and they'll be fighting for every possible second they can get as Paolini will look behind all the way to the line. You could just ride it a little bit harder. Now there's a little bit of a stall as they have a think about it coming up to this final corner.
And Paolini should be pushing on because he's only at 19 seconds in general classification, and looking around here, if, you know,
there's an opportunity for Kizzy giving up a chance to wear the Maglia Rosa.
Well, he has given up the chance. The last 400 or 500 metres he's been looking about. He should have pushed on, because with the bonus and the advantage he will have.
Paolini takes victory in stage 3 of the Giro d'Italia 2013. Who's going to make it in second place? It's a sprint of non-sprinters, you would expect. Is this Cadel Evans that's coming out with it? Cadel Evans with a very, very useful 12 seconds time bonus. Ryder Hagedal gets the 8 seconds, and that's pretty useful again in their battle against Bradley Wiggins and the other time trial superstars. But it was no doubt about the man who took the victory.